This episode is brought to you by Higginbotham, your single source for insurance, wealth management, and employee benefit needs. Glamour.
Grit. Glamour.
Grit. Glamour. Grit.
Welcome back to the Glamour and Grit. Guys, I'm doing a solo pod today. Just me, myself, and all by myself.
False. I'm here. I'm across the country, but I'm here.
Yes. So for all you listening in, Eric is in Los Angeles while Mamacita here is in Texas. So hi, babe.
Hi. You know, I will say, despite the world's worst 24-hour travel day,
Get into it.
I've never had a worse experience flying in my entire life. All I kept thinking was, thank God Sainty and the kids aren't here to experience it. Thank God.
Because I'm the type, I don't care where we're going. I'm going to, excuse my language, bitch the whole time until we get there. Because I just don't love to travel. I'm actually great at traveling by myself. It's just if there's more than one other person with me, I'm just not a great traveler.
It's crazy. So can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I was supposed to leave for LA today, always originally, but then I get a call from production that they need me there a day earlier. This was the night before they wanted me to fly. So they late that night are looking for flights. I have a meeting the next morning, so I can't leave until after 9:30. So it has to be after 9:30 and before
land
and depart before 11:30. So it has to be a window between 9:30 and 11:30. So there's only so many flight options. And the day before, a terrible storm with tornadoes like tore up North Texas. All the power lines are down. So that hundreds of flights got canceled. So they couldn't get me a direct from DFW to LAX. So they routed me to Austin, Texas. So,
which is bonkers. It's literally backwards. Usually you go Austin to DFW, then to LA, if you're traveling from Austin.
It's insane. So I get there at whatever it was, 10:30 a.m. And my flight is delayed and it's delayed. And it's delayed. And now we're switching terminals. Now we're switching back terminals. We're like, what's going on? All these flights are getting delayed. I'm on standby, meanwhile, for all the the straight to LA flights, no layover in Austin. And then there's a mechanical issue. So that flight gets canceled. Then I finally looks like a flight's going to leave. And they announced that, we're not going to take off because the co-captain is too tired to fly the plane. The co-captain is too freaking tired to fly the plane. Not because they've been overworked hours, because they'll tell you if it's like, he's past his 10-hour mark. No, he was within the 10-hour mark and he just was too tired.
Well, so was this Austin
This is
to
still
LA?
DFW. This is still DFW.
Oh my God, y'all. And Austin to LA is DFW to Austin is literally a 30-minute flight. Like, suck it up for 30 minutes. We're all tired.
Yes. So hours are flying by. Actually, they're going snail pace, but the day is going by.
Just like this story.
I'm still at DFW. I finally, at whatever it was, 8 p.m., finally, after having multiple failed attempts at trying to get on standbys, I finally get on a flight to Austin. So I get to Austin. My bags don't come to Austin. So I'm now great, I'm not going to have luggage that's going to get me to LA. Well, it doesn't matter because I missed my connection. And there's only one more flight to get to LA. And I'm on it. I'm on it from Austin to Texas. We get there. It's now 11:30. We're about to board. Literally, we're in the line about to board. I'm sorry, we've got to cancel the flight. The co-captain's too tired to fly. Again.
Wait, you're kidding? Twice?
Two co-captains were tired yesterday. Two different planes.
That's probably why they're not the main captain. Because they are not worthy of being the main. Are they both considered? There's a captain and a co-captain, right?
Yes.
So does the co-captain not do anything the entire flight? Do they just chill there?
I could have been co-captain. Captain's in charge. The planes fly themselves. It's so he made the mistake of coming out and telling us on the microphone.
That he was too tired?
Yes. And he was walking fine. He was talking fine. There was no injuries. I'm like, bro, you should not have done that. The amount of fury
Oh, I
that
can't
the
even
people were
imagine.
screaming at him was, I've never heard anything like, I truly, it was like back in the days when you're like getting shunned and people are throwing rocks at you. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was that this guy. And I mean, granted, I kept my mouth closed, but all I wanted to do was tell him, you know, just suck it up, have a cup of coffee. Let's
Well,
go.
because that's like when people get mad at the people working the desk at airlines, and it's like they have nothing to do with it. But he was the source. So
He
it's
was
like
the
you can't get
source.
mad at him.
Even his captain was like, look, pissed off because he's trying to get home to his kids too.
Yeah. Oh, what a loser. Was he old?
Now, no, he was like 40 something. And I'm a
Millennial.
platinum. Sainty and I are platinum American flyers. We've loved American, but I will tell you after yesterday, I am so mad at American. And then I had to. So the good news is I ended up having to stay in a hotel. They did cover that, of course. They gave me a $12 voucher for breakfast, which I didn't even
Oh, good.
didn't even get to use because I had to wake up at 5 after going to bed at like 1:30. And they switched me to a Delta flight. Delta got me there, no problem. Gave me free Wi-Fi on the plane. Made me feel like $1 million.
Were you first?
No, because there weren't seats left. I was supposed to be on my ticketed flight, but I couldn't because I was like, just get me on. I don't care where I sit.
Just get me on a plane. Totally.
But
Wow,
I'm just saying,
that
Delta,
was a story. That was about a 6-minute story.
I'm just ranting because I haven't been able to talk to anybody about this, and it just literally happened.
I know. Well, should we tell them about Molly Morgan's news?
Yeah. Our 4-year-old, tell them.
Just like her mother, has her first loose tooth. And unlike me, I'd be like, loose tooth, let's go
you
get
gotta
presents.
I mean, not just like her mother. You don't have a loose tooth.
No, but losing, like, I was 4 and she's 4.
There it is.
There we go. Thank you.
Which I've never heard of in my life. I was like 6, 7 when I got my first loose tooth.
I think that's very normal. But I had lost all my teeth by kindergarten. That's why I have this gorgeous big smile.
That's crazy. Yeah, our 4-year-old Molly Morgan's got a loose tooth, and she's terrified.
Terrified, y'all. She literally keeps saying,
I'm not ready.
Just ready yet. I'm like, girlfriend, you're going to be not ready for a lot of things. See, that's my issue as a parent, too. It's like I give in. I'm like, I know, baby, but da-da-da-da. After so long, and then literally I just keep saying now, I'm like, well, too bad, sister. It's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, no. She's got this, but it's like this irrational fear that there's not going to be another tooth growing in.
And I think she's the type, she likes it when other people go first. She's fine to do anything as if she gets to watch somebody. Not like she's a follower, but she's just an observer. Where I was the type, I'm like, oh, I want to be the first. Like, how great, I'll be able to get all the attention and tell everybody I'm the first.
100%. So I mean, it seems like she's getting a little better. It's been a couple days where it's like really loose.
Yes. And I bought a fairy house. Like, you know, those little fairy doors that you see in the park, paint your own fairy door. So today with our babysitter and Mick, she got to paint her own fairy door, which the tooth fairy will come in. So I think that kind of helped. We're like warming it. But last night I heard like a blood curdling scream from our bedroom and it was bleeding. So it's definitely probably going to happen tonight.
Oh my God. What was she just crying because of the blood and like scared?
Yeah, I think it terrified her. So I think so it's definitely going to be happening very soon.
It's funny because
so exciting.
We didn't even have, and we have every book under the sun from the Passy Fairy to you name it, but we didn't have a single book on the Tooth Fairy because we figured we'd have like at least another 2 years before this was going to be a thing.
I thought we'll have like going to kindergarten book before we'd have the Tooth Fairy book. And
it did make a difference though. Like I read her the Peppa Pig Tooth Fairy book and like she started seeing Peppa with her tooth gone and like she's not alone here and really understanding it.
And I think it was really cool that me and you, our first teeth that we lost were the same teeth that she's going to lose. Same tooth.
I think it's like always. Isn't that bottom left tooth or right tooth?
I always thought, like looking at kids, I always thought it was these top 4 that go first.
No, I'm pretty sure the bottom 2 always first and then the top 2. If you're lucky, all 4.
It's like,
all 4 are out at the same time. And you can really suck down through your straw.
Oh my God. Well, and I could tell because we always give her, not a bottle, but like a sippy cup with milk. I bet the people are so interested in this story right now. And she's not been doing that. She really has been not wanting to eat to loosen her tooth even more, which is
Well,
just traumatizing.
I will be so sad if I'm not there when this tooth comes out because I know it's
Oh,
going to be an
baby, you
ordeal.
definitely won't be there.
Yeah, you think it's going to happen like tonight or tomorrow?
Yes. Because it's like,
Wow.
I mean, it's like ready to go. Unless she's going to be that type. You know those like, did you ever have the kid in school where it was like hanging on by like one
Oh,
root?
yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was like
literally
so
like
weird. It's like,
just
and
pull
even
it.
as parents, you're like, get it out. Like,
I
it's
know. I
not
know.
cool.
Well, it's like that.
It
It's
was,
like they're scared to, it's like a scary thing for kids, I guess.
well, now, did you see? I got braces so early. I was in 5th grade and I had my braces out by 7th grade. It was so cool to have braces. Like, were you cool to have braces?
I never had them.
Oh, I forget. Okay, wait, Eric. I feel like that is not true. I know you didn't, but I saw baby pictures of you and your teeth were not cute.
Yes,
Like,
they were always straight.
no, Eric. I will show you pictures. Because I've been showing
What
Molly
age?
Morgan
What age?
when you had that super long skater hair.
No. What it was, they were all straight. I had really bad fangs. I got that corrected.
Oh, like Mick.
No, yeah, all I did was get like little like they
Because
filled
I'm
it out.
telling you, they were not cute.
Yeah,
Like I
no,
was like,
I know.
he definitely had to like secretly have braces.
No, they were always straight. I just had like a weird fang, so they like just built more tooth around it.
Okay, that might be it. Because I was looking and I was like, that is just lies. Lies
Yeah.
upon lies upon lies.
No, and my sister and none of us had braces. It's just we just got lucky there. But you're right. It was to me, the coolest thing was the
Have
retainer.
braces.
The retainer.
Oh,
Because you
okay,
could
when
like
you got to have
customize it.
Yes, when you change out the colors. Like I had a
Oh,
glow in the dark one, and I was like, then that had like my monogram in it. I was so chic. I was actually I
the
went
girl I
to
had a crush on in like, I don't know, 4th grade or 3rd grade. When do you have retainers? Whatever it was. She had like a watermelon under it. And she was the only one that had like a custom one, So I was like, oh,
yeah, she was like me.
we're gonna do this.
It was so interesting. We went to lunch today with my 2 best friends since I was in kindergarten, Keely and Shelby. Natalie didn't come with us. She's our other bestie. And our moms, and we were talking about my very best friend, Shelby. Her mom was there too. And we were saying one time, Shelby and I were in middle school and we were walking off and I was fully done up, hair curled, everything. And Shelby was next to me and she looked like a slob kebab. And our moms were laughing that are like, oh my God, look how opposite they are and they're best friends. And I literally said, I was like, but I still didn't have a boyfriend. Like, where? So sad. And I worked so hard and I like just did not, thank God I found marriage. But I always thought it was such a great
if you would have had a
catch.
watermelon on your retainer.
I bet you are so right.
If you customize it with a watermelon, I would have seen you and been like, I'm dating you.
A fun musical theater girl who wouldn't want to date me. Such a good time.
Oh, the cool kids.
I know. What was your first date? Do you remember your very first date?
Yes, I was in kindergarten. Her name was Betsy Ann. She had red hair and freckles and glasses. My mom,
Betsy
so
Ann.
on Fridays at our school, your parents could come and eat lunch with you on the patio. And that was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
My mom did it all the time. I felt like I was like really lucky because not everyone's got to. And one day, my mom tells me the story. I walk up holding hands with Betsy Ann to have like a lunch date with her on the patio with my mother.
Stop. And you're like, Mother, this is Betsy Ann.
She was that was my first date girlfriend. In my mind, that was like an official date.
I don't even remember my first date, which
my
is
mom
so
was just there to
sad.
bring us food. She was merely a fly on the wall while we got to, enjoy our lunch together on the patio.
No, that is so interesting. No, I really don't even remember my first date. I was probably so happy that I was on an actual date that I just completely forgot about it. I was like in La La Land.
Nice.
Which is so sad. Eric, you're going to die. There is a movie that's coming out with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch. Yep.
And it is called, I'm showing it for the camera.
I saw it. I've seen the poster.
Eric, the real
and he looks
monsters.
deranged.
No, the real monsters aren't under the bed. Is the thing.
Eric is the real monster, is what they're insinuating.
And then out of wait, I didn't even realize it's like a monster over him too.
Yeah,
like
they're really.
It's a limited series. So Eric
it's a series.
Eric is going to be like the new Karen, like where you don't want to name your kid Eric because of Benedict. I love the name Benedict. I wonder if he goes by Benny or Dick.
They should have called it that. I don't know why they're calling it Eric.
Yeah, Eric
So
just seems like
random.
so random. Like out
So
of all,
random.
they're like the producer must have hated an Eric, and they're like, I'm going to. Okay, what was the
Unless there's
popular?
a plot twist and he's actually the coolest guy ever, and like on the show, he's like, oh, that's
I don't think
Eric.
so. Okay, I want to know what do you remember like the cool names growing up? Like all I wanted to be was Courtney. I thought Courtney was the name.
Yeah, for me, I mean, see, for me, it was just because it was my older cousin. And I thought he was the coolest. Tony. Like, I thought to me, Tony was the coolest name in the world because he was
Literally,
my
I
older
love
cousin.
it. It sounds like an Italian pizza
I
owner.
know. I know.
Oh, you know what I
I'll
always
never
dreamed of
forget.
is to be Tony.
I'll never forget. I was in is either a dance class or an acting class as a kid. And the teacher was like, okay, if you could be anybody else right now and like have confidence and like, who is that person to you? And I was like, Tony. She's like, all right,
Oh my
go
God.
be Tony. So I
That
like
is
would
actually
channel
the
Tony.
sweetest story in the whole world.
Yeah. I mean, I was really young, but yeah, Tony to me was the coolest name.
No, and it really was because, well, y'all didn't play Barbies, but I played Barbies. So it's like every Barbie was Courtney. And, you know, Callie, that lived next door to us, her big sister was Courtney. So it was all that Courtney life. It was just the coolest. Courtney with a C, of course, not with a K like Kardashian.
And like Taylor was always cool.
I don't even think I knew a Taylor. Well, babe, remember we're banned about talking about Taylor. We cannot talk about Taylors anymore.
Oh, not Swift.
I know, but y'all, the fact that
Taylor
people
for a
tell
dude.
us.
Taylor for a dude.
I know. Oh, you know what? I never knew it. Actually, that's such a lie. I dated a boy at Casa Mignana. His name was Taylor. And Casa Mignana used to be in the round. And he was my first makeout. We made out like they had in like, because you don't have a backstage.
Taylors
they had
are cool.
wings. And oh my gosh. And my high school love, Taylor Miller. So actually, I was such a Taylor girl. Like that is so weird. I literally am sitting there being like, I did not know Taylors.
Told you.
Isn't it weird that high school?
That was a cool guy name back then.
That actually was. Yeah, it is a cool guy name. I didn't even think about it. Because now I think of Taylor Swift. It's like all you think about when you think Taylor, it's Taylor Swift.
Wah, wah.
Can you imagine naming your child? Like, I feel like now everybody's going super funkalicious with names. Like, I can't imagine just naming a child Taylor or like naming him Eric.
I felt like
it's so simple.
I felt so simple telling all of my LA friends that we named our children Molly and Mick. Like, because they're all like,
Nick is like, Molly Morgan is like, we have literally the two most like non-simple names.
Well, Molly Morgan are two very popular girl names, but like they're naming their kids like astrological things and like
like
obscure objects.
Aries. Apples.
Like really out there. Like I'm so deep.
You are so deep.
No,
I really love
them.
Oh, I know. But I love that you set up a little backdrop for our recording.
No, this was painted on the wall. It's a self-tape room for Christos.
Wait, how cool.
Yeah.
Literally, you know, it's so funny. Paul was so mad at me. He wasn't mad, obviously, but like I have to be dramatic. Mad at me because he wanted me to record in our usual recording studio, and I just couldn't. I always feel so comfortable on this couch. Like I literally don't even have shoes on. I just want to be really comfortable.
Can you see the clock timer?
No, but I set one on my phone.
Okay, cool. So, 'cause I have anxiety when I don't know how much time has elapsed on this, so I can keep it structured and on point. So I'm gonna depend on you.
Because we'll just like ramble all day long.
Yes. No, 100%.
Okay. Do you have any funny like date stories or any one night stand stories?
I'm not gonna get into the latter, but funny date stories, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
What's the craziest place you've ever had sex?
Next question. Next question. I will say, as a high schooler, I'm not saying I ever had sex in this place. I'm just saying it was very, very cool date spot that I would take girls to. I lived in an apartment complex that I knew a secret way to get onto the roof in New York City of my apartment complex.
Eric, you took me to that spot too. And the abandoned building.
That was my spot for all my cool dates or people I wanted to impress. So
like,
as a New Yorker, to be able to pull someone up onto a private roof and literally just hang out up there, and you could see the ball dropping. You could see like everything from up there. It was pretty cool. So I
No,
don't know
that
what
is
like
pretty spectacular.
I don't
Well,
think you
and
could top that in terms of like,
date
you know,
spots.
date
No,
spot,
my
but
mom and I were talking because she was like, "I don't remember you drinking in high school." And I was like, "Mom, that is so full of it." Like, do you remember that feeling? Because once you hit 21, it's just not near as exciting to drink anymore. It's like that feeling of knowing you're not allowed to do something and
yeah,
like doing it. There's just like
yeah.
nothing better as a kid. We just had our babysitter over and she is in high school, and you could tell like they're just at that age where it's like everything is like so new and exciting, and just like you're trying to be an adult, but you're like the farthest thing from adult. You're still living under your parents' roof. It's just so fun.
It's
Like
really cool for me to see those high schoolers and stuff now, because I remember being their age and thinking like I knew everything and I
oh
was
my
so
God, I know.
mature and like, everyone probably thinks I'm older than I am, which probably wasn't even the case. But now seeing
I know.
them doing the same stuff and like seeing how actually immature and still, of course, like need to grow up so much that
But they're like
really,
babies.
it's hilarious. They really are. They really are. And I was like, back then I thought I was the oldest person in the world.
No, but your life changes so much in high school. Like your friends, all of a sudden you have like new friends, just everything changes. I feel like it really does like set you up for college. Cause you're like figuring out who you are, and you really, then you have like the independence of starting to drive. So it's like if you take advantage of that or don't take advantage of that, it's just such like a thing. And all
Yeah.
the like those kids we were talking about at lunch today, all the kids that like were not bad in high school because their parents were like super, super strict were like really bad in college or like bad now.
Well, that's how it goes, right? It's like the ones with the tightest leashes, as soon as the parents aren't within grasp of that leash, they're going to let loose.
I
You
know.
cannot be a hovering parent. You cannot be a down your throat parent in high school, because if you are, that is going to backfire on you in college. Whether you know about it or not, your child will rebel, will let out every demon that
And
he or
they
she
all
has wanted
do.
to let
It's not
out.
like
And
your
oh
child's
yeah,
different. They all do.
it's classic.
But
You
it's
can
what's
spot
that?
those kids from a mile away.
What is like the where you don't want to be too cool of a parent? You know what I mean? It's like that hard in between where it's like, I also don't want them to. I mean, kids these days, they have Uber. We didn't have Uber. So it's like they shouldn't get in trouble for anything, like just getting an Uber.
Yeah. My thing is, you know, they're gonna do it anyway. They're going to
Yeah.
drink, they're going to party, they're gonna explore, whatever. They're gonna just do
Yeah.
it. I feel more safe if you're doing it somewhere where I know you are and I know you're safe and we can kind of keep tabs on, as opposed to like me saying you can't do it in this house and then you go find some
Somebody
stranger to do
else's
it with.
house. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
completely agree. But then it's like other people. Like I also don't want to be because it's always like my parents always kind of look down on like the parents that like always had the parties. You know what I mean? It's like we don't want them to have the parties, but like we always went to my family lake house.
I
And
don't
it's like there
care.
was only what
Sorry,
don't
go
you
ahead.
care? No, no, no.
Sorry, go
You go
ahead.
ahead, baby bear.
I was gonna say, I don't care what the other parents think. I'm like, my
I know,
kid's
me
safe,
either.
and I know they're not out there on the streets doing this at some rando's house. So if
Yeah.
they're like, they're always having parties at your house, I'm like, great. At least I know my kid's safe, and
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can worry
know.
about your own kid. No, I completely agree. That's actually a really great, great way to look at it, honey
But they're 4 and
bunny.
2, so maybe in 10 years when they're actually thinking about that stuff, things will change.
Oh my
But
God.
that's where my
Well, now that we
mindset's at right
have
now.
Molly Morgan without her tooth, I really feel like time's just flying. It
I
just really,
mean,
I got more emotional about that freaking tooth than I did her going to school. I think
just to the
because all of a
fact that
sudden
it's
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 like,
like showing her age.
yeah, and I think that smile that I know will be gone soon.
Oh
Like,
my
I'm so sorry.
gosh,
No,
why'd you say it like that? Now I'm
because
gonna get sad.
no, it's actually so sad because they always come in jacked up. Like their smiles are never the same. Like literally from usually like 1 to 6, they have that cute smile, and then it's like funkalicious smile until you get braces. And
Yeah.
it's every child. It's not just, and it's so, I'm like her cute little smile, but I can't wait till she loses like her top 2 teeth. There's nothing cuter than that.
Oh my
But
gosh,
once
the
those
little whistle
ugly
when you
teeth start
speak.
growing in, shh, there you go. And it'll be so interesting if she needs like braces or not,
I mean,
you know?
I think that, because like I don't know. Is it genetic to the point of like if like are the genetics for teeth so strong that it's like even one parent had bad teeth, odds are their kid's gonna have
Did
it?
your
Or
parents have braces or not?
no, no,
Neither of them?
neither.
Wait, that's so wild.
Yeah, I
Did they
know.
not have braces because they really, or their teeth were actually that beautiful? They didn't need
No,
braces.
you've seen my mom, you've seen my dad. Like they
I
have
actually
normal
can't
teeth.
even picture their smiles right now. That's so
Yeah,
sad. My
no,
heart can't picture their smiles.
it's pretty much like mine. Okay,
Gorgeous, honey. Yeah,
we got
let's talk
to
about what's going on in the world.
well, it's been a particularly
Slow,
dark week. No, so much has happened.
dark.
So dark. Honey, 4 celebrities have
5.
passed away this week. 4.
Who?
Let's just start with Morgan Spurlock.
Why am I laughing? It's not funny.
Wait, what are you
Wait,
doing? This is
no,
serious.
because I can't take you seriously. It's not funny. Who's Morgan?
Morgan Spurlock, 53 years old, finally succumbed to his cancer that he was struggling with. He's the
Mm.
creator of Super Size Me. He's the man that we all watched in 2004 do the
Okay,
McDonald's 30-day challenge.
I need to speak about this because when that came out,
Dead at
I know,
53.
but they're saying, have you read all about it? Because they are actually saying that he cheated on the Super Size Me thing, that was not true, and that he was like a severe alcoholic.
No,
So
what
he
they were
didn't die
saying,
of like the 30 days of him eating shit.
I'm not
Like you,
saying he died
I
from
know, but
that,
I could tell
but
you
a
were pointing
lot
it to
of
me because I love McDonald's.
no,
And so I could
I am gonna
tell,
sit here and say that processed foods are linked to 34 different cancers. I mean, there's no
my
doubt about
God,
that. But
I
I'm not saying
know.
that's what took him down. But 1000% processed food is linked to multiple, like 34 different cancers. Anyway, yes,
It's so funny.
people speculate that why they speculate about the 30-day McDonald's challenge is no, there's no doubt that he didn't eat McDonald's only for 30 days, but what he didn't show publicly was the records of it, because he claimed that he gained 25 pounds. Well, that's a given. Got depression and had liver dysfunction, but he wouldn't show that it was from the McDonald's because the liver dysfunction most
Was
likely was
probably
from
for
the
him being an
alcohol.
alcohol. And
Yeah.
somebody else did
But
that.
he did do 30 days, nothing but McDonald's.
Yeah, but somebody else did the exact same thing and they actually lost weight because they did the based on like the calories. What is it? 2,000 calorie diet. They did his exact thing that he should have done. And they lost weight. So,
But did they do that today or in 2004? You know what I mean? Like they've come out with a lot of healthier things at McDonald's since 2004.
Yeah, but I think they followed whatever he did because I think he did the salad and stuff too.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, he did
I don't think he
everything.
ate the whole. I love McDonald's. I think
But
McDonald's is.
he was like a pioneer. I mean, he did in something that no one else, he
Isn't it crazy? We're just now like kind of finding out that he was cheating on that documentary. Where
he
nowadays,
wasn't cheating at all.
yeah, he did, honey. They said he actually ate like more than he was supposed to eat, and he wasn't actually showing the proper like. I think nowadays it's so interesting. If you do a documentary, within maybe a week, they'll debunk it or show other things. But like all these
Well,
documentaries were before people like to debunk and all that other junk.
well, he got nominated for an Oscar for it. He did over 70 documentaries and TV shows, including that one we also watched. It was
Oh, so
Super
good.
Size Me 2, Holy
Yeah.
Chicken, where he literally opens up and works at a fast food restaurant for chicken. But he was always taking these jabs at our food in
Mhm.
America and our fast foods. And, he was exposing what 90% of our country are eating on the daily. It's,
Well, yeah, because I think our whole food system is like a bunch of BS, though. I think it's fast food. I think the shit that they say is organic, I don't think is organic half of the time. I think
maybe not,
it's
but
the entire American food system is food.
I think there's a lot of good out there. I think you just have to do a lot of research to find it. You know what I mean? Like in terms of clean foods.
Yeah, but I
But he
think
was
it's if you're
54 and
growing
he had
it.
two kids,
Oh,
and he made a big difference in the film world. And he was gone way too soon. 53 years old. Unbelievable.
oh,
Not only
honey.
did
Wait, what is Not Quentin Tarantino. What is the other super famous director? He's a lot older. He loves Leo. Not Quentin. It's the other one.
Martin Scorsese.
Okay, his daughter is on TikTok. Because I was thinking
Oh,
of
they're
like,
hilarious together.
oh my God, she's the cutest, funniest thing I've ever watched in my entire life. And he is so. Have you watched the one where she's like, I'm a movie lover, and then he's yelling at her, directing her? Because you know how people are like,
but I saw one where she would say like Zillennial or Gen Z like
oh, and he
words
like
and
knew them all.
phrases, and he had to like figure out what they actually meant.
Yeah, no, you have
They're
to watch
great.
this new one because you know how people are like, I'm a millennial. I like to text with two hands. She did like, I'm a movie lover. And because she's walking in the hallway of like their huge movie theater and you hear him directing her in the background. It's so funny. He's like, try it again. Just do it like you mean it. It is the
great.
funniest thing. She is
I love
truly
their
now one of my
relationship.
favorite TikToks. He has 3 daughters, I think probably from 3 different marriages. But the girl's mom has Parkinson's and they're still married. I don't know if he's like come out with, I might be wrong on that, but I then had to do a deep dive because I was like obsessed with this daughter. And I saw in one of her videos, her mom, they were in a private plane and the mom looked handicapped. And I was like, oh, I wonder what's wrong with the mom. And she has Parkinson's. But she
So
goes with
sad.
them to it's like, because they were boarding a plane and she was in a wheelchair and like just, she didn't look, hell, it was so sad. And
Well, continuing on the sadness,
oh yeah, let's get
I
sad.
need to finish this list because we have to pay respect to 4 major celebrities that passed away this week. The second one is Grayson Murray,
Who's that?
30-year-old golfer. He was supposed to play in
I
our
know, he
tournament
committed
at the
suicide.
Charles Schwab Challenge. Committed
Yeah.
suicide in his car from carbon monoxide, and his neighbor heard the carbon monoxide alarm going off.
Oh my gosh. That is
Literally
like the
30,
saddest thing in the world.
just was engaged.
Did he leave it? Did they say if he left a note or anything?
No, they didn't say anything like that.
And what
They didn't
do
say
you think
anything like
like
that.
do they have to make that aware to people? Like if a note or something is left,
Well,
I
he was
wonder if
very open about his
depression.
alcoholism and
Mm.
his mental illness. He struggled mentally.
I am
But he
sorry,
got
there's a
sober.
yeah.
He got sober for almost an entire year, and then he commits suicide right before his tournament, right after getting engaged. He had so much going for him. This
I mean,
man
it
is a
reminds me
two-time,
of Avicii. Or is that his name? Avicii?
yeah, the DJ.
Yeah, remember we watched that documentary and he was like just getting his life together and like seemed so happy, even though
I mean,
Avicii was
two-time
definitely
PGA
killed.
Tour winner. It was, devastating. He was supposed to compete at the Charles Schwab Challenge, our home course, right by us, just 2 weeks ago or last week.
Is it not called the Colonial Golf Tournament? It's called the Charles Schwab?
Yeah.
I'm shooketh.
But that's not all. That's not all.
Ugh.
Next on the list this week of sad deaths, Johnny Wachter.
Is that the General Hospital
37
sweat boy?
Yes, 37 years old.
Literally
soap star.
saving a friend.
He gets shot because he comes out of the bar where he's working as a bartender with his coworker, walking her to her car so she's safe, sees his car jacked up.
Yeah.
And people stealing his catalytic converter off of his car. And so he puts that girl behind him immediately because it's like, okay, this is some shady stuff.
She just spoke out today and she was like, he wasn't even like being like, hey guys, what are you doing? Like he was
No.
Yeah, and she said he fought so hard too. That he didn't want to.
Point blank, these 4 guys stealing a catalytic converter right to his chest.
Like, it's not worth it. Like, it's a catalytic converter. It's, like, so stupid. That's what doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, that is, like, the dumbest thing. Like, and even for that person that killed him, it's like, is it worth over that stupid thing you to kill somebody?
It's so
like,
devastating.
Shoot him in the leg. Shoot him in the shoulder. Like, just shoot him straight in the chest, like, to kill.
He wasn't threatening them. He wasn't doing anything
bizarre.
but looking and being
so
like,
sad.
What are you doing to my car? Why is my car jacked up? What are you guys doing?
Okay,
but he died a hero. He
Yeah.
literally died a hero because he sacrificed himself for his coworker.
All
Meanwhile,
right, let's
he's
finish
engaged.
this because this is getting me sad.
It's super sad. And
I don't
one
want
more. This
us
is,
to
this
be
is
like
the saddest. I mean, they're all traumatizing.
This
but
reminds me
one-
of like the Oscars, like when they do the memoriam.
Mamie Laverock. Okay. 19 years old. One of the stars on one of your favorite Hallmark shows, When Calls the Heart.
How'd she pass
The
away?
redhead from When Calls the Heart.
Yeah,
She
she's
plays Rosalind.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yes. She got rushed to the hospital for a medical emergency that they haven't disclosed what it was. She was there for 2 weeks. She finally is starting to get better. They're transferring her at the hospital up to
Mhm.
the balcony level, and she falls under medical personnel guidance off the 5-story medical balcony
Are you
while
kidding?
she was there for something else being treated.
D How does that even happen?
19 years old.
But how does that even like, when I had a C-section, even when I'm fully walking and all better, I'm not allowed to do anything unless I'm in a wheelchair. Like,
It's
how did that even happen?
it's
That's the
uncomprehendable to
craziest
me.
thing I've actually ever heard in my entire life.
Was there for a different
Are they
illness
looking
for
into
2 weeks.
investigation though? Because that seems like she was like
I
pushed or was like that's so weird.
They haven't said anything about foul play or investigation or anything like that. Obviously, everything gets investigated. But yes, being escorted by medical personnel at the hospital
Yeah.
falls off the 5-story
And
balcony.
why would she be in the balcony? Like, I don't see somebody taking somebody out to a balcony.
I couldn't, from my research, understand what that meant, that they were escorting her uh, out of a
That
secure unit and taken to a balcony walkway. So it might have been like one of those tall breezeways you go across and then you go to the other building.
Yeah, but it's not open air.
Maybe there's some sort of, I don't know. I
That is
couldn't
the
find it online.
no, that's weird. So please, once again, sound off in the comments because that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. You
It's
know what I
so
feel like that's
sad.
going to be on next is seriously. Because that
Well,
just does not sound right or correct, or that is so freaking sad.
our thoughts and prayers with all of the families. And I
Ugh.
will say there are multiple fundraiser pages, GoFundMe. There's a GoFundMe for Mamie. There's a GoFundMe for Johnny. Please consider donating. They need all the help their families need all the help they can get. It's just tragic.
Okay,
Um,
this is not like I just obviously we oh, it's so freaking sad. But if you're a listener, you know that I had a melanoma. Well, I read this article on Daily Mail, and now all on my Daily Mail is like stage 4 melanoma, young mom dies, young. And I'm like, oh my God, like I hate media in the sense of you click on one thing and read it long enough, it'll automatically target you to that.
oh, yeah.
Like
If you
now,
just say it in front of your phone, it'll pick it up.
Eric, shall we tell the people who was the top stories of Daily Mail?
Go for it.
Y'all, Eric and I were the cover story on Daily Mail. Not even for the shit that we say on this podcast. We did this wholesome, super sweet article for WFAA
No,
and
it's a news interview.
a news interview talking about that we're so happy and I was born and raised here. Well, they took it as like Hollywood moves to Texas. So people blew up in the Facebook comments that we should move back. We talked about this last podcast. Well, I guess it got so many hits that Daily Mail picked it up. And it was the cover of top stories of worldwide Daily Mail. It's like everything, worldwide Daily Mail escaped from LA. And I'm
Like
like,
we were fugitives.
and literally, and it's like
And
Hollywood.
they went in and they found a picture from our
2021, 3 years ago, 2 months after I'd
2021
had Mick.
2021 Christmas photo
And
where
people are
Sainty's
like,
ballooned after birth and we all look a hot mess. And that's the picture they used for the big main page on Daily Mail.
and
That was
everyone's
just
in the comments, they're
insane.
like, who are these nobodies? And I'm like, no shit, we're nobodies from Hollywood. We're not, like, obviously, when I think of Hollywood power
more
couple.
Californians trying to mess up our state of Texas.
And I'm born and raised in Texas.
And we've been here 4 years. That's old news. Why do they just promote that?
And my favorite part is they're like, oh, they hired a PR team. I'm like, you think if I hired a PR team that I wouldn't be using this 2021 photo of me Christmas 2 months postpartum? No. I would be looking snatched, fierce. Like, they realize if you hire a PR team, you get to pick the photos, folks. It was just literally Eric and I are sitting
hysterical.
there. It's the most random thing, and our phones are like, brrr, blowing up. I really thought that we would make it on DailyMail for the stuff I say about Taylor Swift. I never thought in 1,000 years we would make it over. And if you literally listen, because Eric says normal, we want our children to have a normal upbringing. We wanted our children to have a normal upbringing being around family, not like normal upbringing leaving LA. You can have a perfectly normal upbringing in LA. We were talking about normal upbringing because our kids get to be around family all the time. It's like, watch the interview. This is why you don't
crazy.
listen to media. They like used Eric and I as these pawns for this like political thing with California and Texas. It was bonkers. It was the craziest thing I've ever.
I don't know if they thought it would soften the blow by posting us in our Christmas pajamas from 3 years ago, but
oh my God. And then there was a person that had like a foot fetish being like, their kids' feet are really weird. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh God. All right. That's just weird.
But it was the craziest thing. Never in 1,000 years would I think we would be DailyMail's
AirPod thing. Is it an earpod or an AirPod?
AirPod.
Like Air Jordan Air?
Yeah, like Air. Because it's
these
like
dumb AirPods don't ever stay in my dang ears. It's really driving me nuts right now.
No, I
but I'm
hate
gonna try
those
to work
things, too.
through it, guys.
Okay,
Hey, it was also a big week for love.
love
For love. For
is
marriage.
for the way
The bells
you
are
look
ringing. The fans are
me.
cheering.
Oh, is it our people?
Millie Bobby
friends?
Brown. She got married this
Congrats,
week.
Millie.
20 years old. Let's go, Millie, as we all know her as 11 on Stranger Things. Guess who
I thought
she
you
married?
meant like somebody's famous
Bon
is,
Jovi's son.
and I bet their marriage lasts not very long.
Oh, why? Hey, why? They're in love.
Oh, I know,
They're
but
so
I
in
think
love.
if
That
you're
was our age.
honey, no, we were like 22 and 24 married.
Yeah, don't haterade. I think they're happy. They look really, really happy.
Actually, they
They're
do
like-
look really happy. And I think
she wanted it private. She didn't want it in. She didn't want any press there. She wanted very, very, very intimate. It was just their immediate families. That was it.
oh, I actually think she has an amazing head on her shoulders. And to be that famous, that young, really all those kids on that show have done an amazing job of staying humble and so sweet. And it doesn't seem like they're in the press too much.
Yeah, they're amazing. Millie Bobby Brown's amazing. I'm really happy for her. She gets to listen to Bon Jovi for the rest of her life in person. That's pretty incredible.
Wait, what does Bon Jovi sing? You're not going to know.
What doesn't he sing?
You don't know.
I can't tell if you're serious or not.
Name me a song.
Living
Right
on
now.
a Prayer.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember the roller coaster at Universal? And it was a Bon Jovi roller
Yes,
coaster.
of
Rock and roller
course.
coaster. What was the song that
Yes.
you were waiting and then it's like you spade off?
Oh, I don't remember it that well. Good
Highway to
Lord.
Hell? Is that Bon Jovi? Highway to Hell.
No, that's AC/DC.
Oh, maybe it was AC.
But
No, I thought it
boom,
was.
come for me knowing my Bon Jovi.
Name another.
Anyway, next, here's another wedding for you. We got more love, folks. Ryan Bingham and Hassie Harrison.
Yeah.
Our
okay.
Yellowstone
I'm sorry if her
super
name
couple.
isn't the best, cutest name in the history. Like Hassie Harrington is a superstar
Nope.
name.
Nope, you didn't even say it right. It's definitely not
Hassie
Harrington.
Hassie Hassington.
It's such a great name. We know exactly how to pronounce it.
Hassie Hanschnenven.
Hassie Harrison.
Harrison. Even better. Hassie Harrison is the best name in history.
Well, they got hitched, and
Not just
It's
hitched, like
cool.
a Vogue wedding, gorgeous, amazing wedding.
unlike Millie Bobby Brown, who wanted very private, no press, Ryan Bingham and Hassie still had it intimate because it was at her family's property in Dallas, which is where she's always wanted to get married. But they had Vogue there. They had all the outlets. And
works.
let me tell you, it looked incredible. They had a, what were they calling it? An elegant Western vibe.
Yeah, which our friends that if you look up Mercedes and Treasure it was Treasure Maddox's wedding. But it's this power duo who own Best Hat store here in Fort Worth. They kind of were the first to do that with Vogue. Have a Western, like an upscale Western wedding. If you look up their
Very
wedding,
cool.
they were in Vogue. Treasure Maddox, it's spectacular.
Well, now Ryan Bingham and Hassie Harrison are doing it as well. And I mean, they met doing Yellowstone. They
and
played
they're lovers
love
on
interests.
Yellowstone. How cool.
Yes, Walker and Laramie. It's just what a cool story. You know what I mean? I wish them nothing but the best. It was such a beautiful thing, and the entire world is posting the pictures.
Yeah, and
I think
she is
everybody's
the
obsessed with
sweetest
this.
human being on this earth. She is
On the
so kind.
planet.
We sat with them at a gala or some kind of thing. We sat with him. And she is just, she's such a Texas girl. She's like the sweetest human being on this earth. I could have talked to her all night long. She couldn't have been cuter. Okay, Eric, you want to know what's something I read?
Very happy for them.
Because I only know this because I bought a book for Molly Morgan with her tooth. What are they called? It was the books we read. The Bernstein Bears, right?
Okay.
Do you remember those books?
Yeah, Bernstein Bears.
Bearstein. How do you spell it?
Bernstein? Oh, I don't know. I was a kid.
Don't you think it was like Bernstein Bears?
Yeah,
but it's Bernstein Bears. Stain. So there's this whole big, where instead of like Steen, Stein, there's this whole like theory about them changing the name because we all pronounce like Bernstein Bears. Isn't that crazy?
It was never Bernstein Bears.
It is though. It's Bernstein Bears, but it's spelled Stain. How crazy is that?
Oh.
Everyone's thinking there's this whole theory about them changing the names because when I spelt it, it was Berstein. That's what I remember it always looking as.
Yeah,
but
like every
not.
New Yorker.
Yes, but it's Stain. How crazy is that? It's like our whole lives. What do they call it where it's like you remember something? Oh, it's like when Paul was telling us E.T., when he's like,
oh yeah, and then I got stuff here. I got good stuff here.
Sorry. Keep going.
You're getting off tangent on the Bernstein Bears. Listen to this. The world is not ready for it, but it's here. It's called DogAir. It's an airline just for dogs that puts dogs before humans.
Chic. We should have that.
They're calling it a white paw experience where you can sit in Furrrst Class. But it's true. It's called DogAir. It's a brand new airline. It literally just had its first flight from New York to LA. It's putting dogs before humans. But get this. These dogs not only get to sip on their choice of cocktail before the flight to get their ears nice and pressurized before they take off and before they land. But here are the options of goodies these puppies get to enjoy while they're prancing in the air and feeling perfect. They get treats.
Can cats be there too?
They get Sainty. Let me finish. And no, it says DogAir. No cats allowed. This is dogs.
Sorry.
Dog time. They get treats. They get cupcakes. They get puppuccinos. And they get chicken-flavored champagne from 20,000 feet up in the sky. All it costs is $6,000 one way.
Are you lying?
Literally. It's $6,000.
That costs a private plane for just people. Then why don't the people come along?
Because they want their fur companion to have other fur companions with them.
Is it $6,000 per dog or just for the flight? So there could be like
$6,000 per adult and dog combo. One way.
That is, excuse my language, fucking nuts.
And the flight was packed from New York to LA.
But if those people can afford that, they can afford their own private plane. Like their own private.
I think it's the experience they're selling of having an all dog friendly flight with all these accessories for the dogs and the bowls and the dishes and their own couches.
Y'all.
Yeah.
That is not.
To me, it's one stinky flight.
Eric,
6 hours from New York to LA with peeing and pooping and dogs.
Yeah, is there a doggy restroom, a doggy potty in there? I would think so.
I don't know, but for $6,000,
I hope this was like a one-time thing. I feel like this isn't going to be
No. This is an ongoing. This is the new airline. This is Delta, American Air, and DogAir.
Okay, and I bet we could have used that DogAir to get you from Austin to LA. Like, let's use the planes for that.
For $6,000, yeah, I could have.
That's the craziest, dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
You know who's taking these flights?
Who?
Lisa Vanderpump. That's about it.
She has her own plane from LA to Las Vegas. It's a Vanderpump like specialty plane.
Get this, the most expensive movie in the history of
moving. Can we talk about, we need our first merch to say, get this. Because you say that every single time we have a new story. That will be our merch.
I have to say it. I
Get
have to
this.
say it. It's my pump up.
Okay, get this.
The most expensive movie of all time is being shot as we speak. It's the first of its kind just because of how flippin' expensive it is and the subject matter. It's an F1 Formula One racing movie starring Brad Pitt, Javier Bardem. It's now budgeted over $300 million.
But that's not more than like Avatar. Those have got to be 10 times more
Yes.
expensive.
No, those are all just up there too. But this one has gone on paper now as became the most expensive budget of all time.
Can we just talk about everything is so dumb? That is so dumb. They're doing cars. They're not like Avatars, like a whole world they have to create.
Yeah, I
Is all the money
completely agree.
going for the actors? Like what they're paying Brad Pitt and all of that?
No, it's Joseph Kosinski who directed Top Gun Maverick. So this is about as epic of an act of like a what do you call this? Like action movie as you could possibly get. So it follows a Formula One driver who comes out of retirement to mentor and team with a younger driver. And they're using people like Lewis Hamilton. They're using real Formula One drivers who are actual drivers in their actual cars during actual Formula One races.
Well, that's what they do with like that's truly the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, $300 million says it's worth seeing.
No, what was Avatar though? Because I mean like.
Oh, I'm sure it was 300 million, but this is now going past 300 million.
Wait, Avatar budget. Let's see. Avatar budget was $460 million. So,
honey,
you maybe need to get your facts.
I'm reciting what my film and TV press outlets are dishing. You understand what I'm trying to say?
As we learned with DailyMail, they're probably just trying to do some clickbait because that is not true. Because I feel like every animation movie is a bigger budget than that.
I don't know. Go look it up. I'm telling you. And hey, I also figured this out.
Did
you know? Get this. You know who Al Capone is?
Of course I do.
One of the most notorious American gangsters of all time.
Yeah, mafia style.
Do you know he's the reason we have expiration on milk?
What does that mean? Oh,
like when you buy milk,
expired?
So you know when it, like the sell-by date or
no, why? Because he liked his milk
date?
A certain way?
Well, no, in the 30s, his niece got super sick from spoiled milk, and there was no such thing as expiration dates or anything on the milk yet. So he is the sole person that fought for this to happen, and that's why we all are getting nice, healthy milk.
Well, thank you, Al.
But you know what's kind of nasty?
What?
Milk started getting delivered in 1785. It wasn't until 1930 that we got expiration dates on it. So there was a lot of soiled milk going on.
Yeah, but don't you think that's because when it came like right out of a cow, where you got it in the bottle, so it's probably so fresh. Like now they have all these
100%.
Preservatives and all this extra junk in it.
Yeah. But
just
still,
like our American food system.
He was killing people, but he also has been saving people.
Yeah. I feel like I was just
from having too much diarrhea.
We went to dinner the other night with Buck and Bull Bourbon, Eric's Bourbon. If you haven't already got his bourbon is real good. And I feel like I was talking to the owner, who's a friend of ours, who I get to see tonight. I feel like I'd be a great mafia wife. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think you would.
I think I would too. Like, I feel like I'm like just sweet enough, but I could like rally with the best of them. Pew, 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 pew. Do you remember that song? What was that one that I used to do? Pew, pew, pew.
I have no idea, but there's nothing mafioso about pew pew. I'll tell you that. You're the furthest thing from mafioso right now.
But now that song's gonna drive me nuts. Remember, it used to be like my favorite. Pew, pew, pew. Whatever. Sorry, losing my marbles.
Yeah,
I've had the longest day today.
Definitely not a Bon Jovi hit, I'll tell you that much.
It definitely
okay,
just like living on a prayer.
We're going to cut it. So give me your glamour and your grit.
We're going to cut that part?
No, we're going to cut out of here. I got
shit to do. People to say, things to, and I'm about to tinkle.
I can't listen to one more pew-pew.
You're going to die. Wait, I have to tell this story really fast. We were jumping on the trampoline. I'm a mother of two. Jumping on the trampoline, and Mick kept yelling at me. He was like, jump, jump, jump. So I was jumping. And my mom was on the trampoline with me, and she goes, Sainty, she's laying down, and I'm jumping. And she goes, you peed your pants.
She peed herself? Oh, she did or you did?
I did. I called it.
A little pee.
I didn't even realize though, Eric. It wasn't like I had to pee. It was literally from Mick telling me I had to jump. I had a little tinkle in my shorts. So that's what's going on.
It happens. It happens. Better than the other way. You know what I mean?
A little shit. I'm cussing a lot this podcast. I am feeling
What's
good.
your glamour and what's your grit?
Okay, my glamour is that you got to LA safely and that you're working, because I love it when you work. You're so happy, and I love seeing you so happy. And my grit is the house is just not the same without you.
Boom. You heard it here first, folks. Mine
that
is
not so sweet of me?
exhausted from the that was very sweet. Exhausted from the travel day, and glam is hopefully we'll get a really cute FaceTime from my daughter tomorrow with a missing tooth.
Oh, all right, guys. See ya on Monday.
Thanks for tuning in.
Peace out, folks.
Glamour.